It's really encouraging to see more and more people getting interested in growing their own food in their home garden. Whether it's a small vegetable garden or an herb garden or even fruits, you can really get better high quality, know what you're get higher quality, know what you're getting, and also just the enjoyment of growing fresh fruits and vegetables just can be a real rewarding opportunity for you. But also, as we see more and more people getting involved in growing their own food, we also know that it presents more challenges, and particularly in the home fruit orchard. Now, to me, there's nothing better in my mind than having a peach or an apple or a plum or an apricot picked off of your own tree that you've grown, as far as flavor and really knowing what you've got. But as I said, they come with challenges, and so today we're going to talk a little bit about the continuing challenge of growing fruit in the home garden this time of the year within reference to the peach tree itself. We talked a little bit earlier in the year about the need for early bloom sprays or pre-bloom sprays to get some of the diseases off the peaches or the fruit that might develop. And we have to continue throughout the season to help control both diseases and insects. Depending on what the quality of fruit you want, you may or may not want to do spraying or do spraying on a continual basis. But in the peach tree and also in most of the other fruits, it's a good idea at least to do one or two what we call cover sprays throughout the season. And a cover spray is simply a spray that will control both insects, particularly the peach tree borer, or the peach tree moth, the curculio, and the plum gouger, and some of the other insects, as well as the fruit rot diseases. And the choices may be that you could choose a combination of pesticides, 7 and malathion, which is another common pesticide and a very safe pesticide, will get most all, if not all, of the insects that's going to be attacking your fruit trees. Then in addition to that, a fungicide, Captan, will take care of most all the diseases, particularly the fruit rot diseases that are going to affect the peach, the apple, the pear, the plum, and other fruits. So you may want to get that, mix all of those together in what we call a tank spray, and put on cover sprays about every 14 to 20 days until the peaches or the other fruit begin to turn and begin to ripen on the tree. Or another choice, and a choice that I like, is simply a home fruit spray that has a combination of all of these. Actually, the combination is in a lesser concentration than you'd get if you mix your own spray, but still it does a very good job, and you only have one pesticide to deal with, and that is a fairly simple way to continue to spray with a good compressed air sprayer to control and to protect your fruit trees. The other problem that we have to deal with on all of our fruit trees, and particularly the stone fruits, which is the peach, the apricot, and the plum, and the cherry, are tree borers. Tree borers affect the tree throughout the season. They affect the tree from the time it's planted. The borer will infect the trunk and the lower limbs of the tree, bore into the trunk of the tree, weaken it, and cause not only damage to the tree, but ultimately death of the tree. And so borer spray is also very important. And I like to use a pesticide called 8. It has permethrin in it, which is about a 2.5% permethrin, and you can spray that up and down the trunk of the tree and control your borers that way. So I would suggest that you get 2.5% permethrin to try to control your borers. Now, I have a friend who actually works for a nursery, and she says there's another really good non-chemical way to control borers. I don't know that there's a lot of scientific research to back this up, but I think I'm going to try it next year. And she indicates and suggests that you simply get indoor latex paint, indoor latex house paint, mix it 50-50 with water, and paint the trunk and the lower limbs of the tree very liberally with that. That puts up a barrier so the borers can't get into the trunk of the tree. But borers are quite a problem in trees. Let me show you some damage on the borers that we have on this particular peach tree that we're standing by. We have some damage on one side of the tree that is result of borer damage from last year and the year before. And while we were able to get in with a little wire and dig those borers out, you still can see that there is permanent damage on this particular tree. On the other side of this tree, this same tree, because we didn't get our boar spray down in time, you can see that there's also this year's boar damage by the little waxy jelly-like stuff that's coming out of the trunk of the tree here. And so I want to be sure and get on top of that and control those borers in plenty of time to not cause this permanent damage to the tree. Now another maintenance thing we need to do on the peach trees and the apple trees and other trees this time of the year is think about thinning. We have gone a couple of years without a good peach crop. This year the weather was just ideal, so we had plenty of peaches. And as you can see, we have many more peaches on this tree than this particular tree really can bear. So we'll need to come in and do some thinning of this. It's very difficult in my heart and in my mind to come in and pick these little peaches off, but not only for the quality of the peach and increase the size of the peach, but also to reduce damage from limb breakage on the tree, we'll need to come in and thin these. For peaches, we'd like to have an average of about 6 inches of limb space or of space on the average for each peach fruit. And that means roughly about 30 to 35 leaves per peach in order to develop a good sized peach. Later on in May and early June, we'll experience what we call the June drop, which will be a natural dropping of the weaker fruit off of this tree. After the June drop, when you come out and see a few on the ground that the tree has naturally aborted, then we'll need to come in and thin these by hand. And we simply do that by picking off some of these fruits. We'll pick off a couple of fruits here. We'll look for maybe the fruits that have joined together, or perhaps maybe the fruits that are already damaged or something. We'll pick those off, go on down the limb. There's another one that's joined together. There's 2 side by side. I'll take one of those off. There was a little one there that fell off by itself. It probably would have fell off by June drop anyway. That one's going to fall, that little one there. There's another one that's a double peach. This one is a small one here. It's probably going to go ahead and abort naturally in the June drop. But after the June drop, we'll want to come in and thin this out good. It's the same way with apple trees. We'll want to come in later on as these begin to mature and thin these out so that we get a nice sized fruit, but more importantly, to keep the limbs from breaking also. You can see on this particular limb here, we have a lot of peaches on this limb. It's already getting enough weight on it to where it's causing that limb to break down. If we did not take any of the fruit off of that and left it for the entire season, not only would that limb break, but because all the fruit we've got up here on this side of the limb, some that I took off here, this entire limb probably would be on the ground by the end of the season, and we certainly don't want that. So, you know, it pays to have fruit in the garden, but it also pays to have a little bit of care given to those fruit trees. And I would encourage you not only to take care of your fruit tree, but also to find out all you can about it. And so you may want to check out our fact sheet from Oklahoma Garden, or from the OSU Extension fact sheets. Fact sheet 7319, Home Tree Fruit Production and Pest Management, is available either online or through your local county extension office. So enjoy your home fruit garden this year.